Okay. So I will ask you a few questions like, so what is the first step before, what is the first step when you go to project? Okay, assume that you have selected for a company. Okay, assume that you have selected for Infosys company and you joined a Infosys company. And in the Infosys company, assume that you are working for a client or you got a project like Amazon. Okay, Amazon. So what you do, like what they will do first? What will be the what you do? Like you got a project of Amazon, then what will be the next step? Okay, what will be the next step? If you got Amazon, you are selected for a client. Yeah,
Get the data from the database server or Excel.
yeah, that's it. But before that, we have to understand that how many types of project we have. So every time when you go to the company, right? If you are selected for a project, it is not mandatory. You have to connect to your database first, right? Because already some people have built the dashboards. Okay, so in place of that person, you are going. In that case, you no need to connect to the database every time, right? You don't connect to the database every time. So database, some person has already connected to the database and they have built their dashboard. And in place of that person, you are replacing. So that is not the case. Every time you have to connect to the database. Okay. So the first thing we have to remember here is like how many types of project we have in real time. If you're selected for a company, how many types of project we will be having? Okay. So we will be having two types of projects. The first one is like support project. Okay. We'll be having two types of project. One is support projects, and second one is scratch projects. So scratch projects means start from starting. Scratch projects. Scratch means these projects will be starting from the scratch. So okay, projects. Okay. So what you told is that is correct for this scratch projects. So first we have to connect to the database, then we have to build the dashboards. So that is true in case of scratch projects. But in case of support projects, that will be not the case. Okay, so dashboards are already built and data is there already. So what we have to simply do is we have to simply support these projects. So what type of support you can say? Anyone will tell what type of support we have to give for these support projects? What type of projects? What type of support? Just try something like you just what type of support we have to do. Just tell me whatever you get in your mind, so that you can remember these things while you are going for interview. Okay?
Support projects means getting a incremental refresh,
Sorry,
incremental update.
we have to update.
So data is getting updated.
Data is sorry.
So data is updating day by day. So we need to
You have to refresh the data.
uh,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that is one type of like refresh data. Okay. And any other points? Okay. So how the support projects will be like? So some person has already built a project, already built a workflow. Okay. And what we have to do is we have to support means if any issues in existing dashboards. We have to resolve. Need to solve. Okay, we have to solve those existing issues. Like for example, one person has built a dashboard. Till 3 months of the time, there is no issue in the dashboard. So users are using the dashboards. Users can see the data. There is no issue. But suddenly after 3 months, the dashboard is not displaying the data. Dashboard is not displaying the data. Then user will come to you. He will ask you, hey Venkat or some person, this date, I don't see any data in this dashboard. I don't know what is the issue. Can you please resolve this issue? Okay. So this is one type of requirement we will be getting in the support projects. Okay. So most of the time, what could be the issue means, for example, I'll tell you. I'm just telling you a simple thing only, okay? I'm just telling simple things. So for example, in the sheet, I am displaying the region-wise sales. See, you have to remember all these things. Okay. In the interview, when they're at the starting of the when someone is asking you, tell me about yourself and your roles and responsibilities. So you can brief all these points. Okay. Finally, I'll tell you how to tell about yourself in the interview. Okay. So the requirement is we have to show the region-wise total sales. But this region-wise total sales is nothing but we have to show all these region-wise sales only for the current year only we have to show. Current year means 2024. So what I will do? So we have to bring the anyone will tell how to show the sales only for the current year. So as of now, these sales are for all the regions and for all the years. Like 5,03,000 for the central region is not only for this current year. This sales is for all the years 21, 22, 23, 24 like that. But I want to show the sales only for current year only. Anyone will tell what is the process for this? Just give me a second. Anyone, Bharat?
ఫిల్టర్స్ పెట్టి చేయొచ్చు యాక్చువల్ గా ఇయర్ది.
Okay.
What type of process? Actually, question will
See, we have to show the data only for the current year. See, all these are important interview questions also. Anyone? So if you see, if I drag the order date into the question, I can see all the years here. But I want to show the data only for the current year.
Order date equals to 2024.
No, tell me what is the option first we have. I want to show the data only for the latest year.
You have to use the calculations again in the filters also.
Yeah, just tell me step by step.
First, open the calculation field. Enter the order date.
Okay.
Equals to.
Okay.
మనం పారామీటర్స్ యూజ్ చేసి కూడా చేసుకోవచ్చు సార్ ఎడిట్ కరెంట్
No, no need of that much length. Anta length అవసరం. No need to go for this much length.
Slash 2024 or a single quote 2024 sir.
Okay. So you are not following the class. See, we have to be like this is the minimum question.
సార్ quote సింక్ కావాలి కాబట్టి అది అవసరం లేదు సార్.
Okay.
2024 తీసేయండి.
Okay. Still we are getting error here. Cannot compare date and integer values. See, when you are writing some calculation, always think that
Year of order date. Year
Correct.
of order date is equal to 2024.
Correct. So when you're writing some calculation, always think that what is the left side will give you, what is the right side we are having. The left side contains days, months, and years also. But on the right side, what we have, only year only we have. So from this day, month, and year, we have to extract the year first. Okay. So for that, we have to use two, we can use two functions. I can use either year function, or so this also works, or I can use what is the other function I can use here? Anyone just try tell me.
Incoming.
I go to just dates here.
అక్కడికి కార్లో
Gokul, you also try actually, but
Yeah, tell me.
so which function we can use? So we can use year function, which will extract the year part. And what is the other function we can use? See, we can use either date part function or
Date part.
date name function. Okay. So what is the syntax for this date part function means? Date part or date part of. So in this order date, what is the part you, what is the date part you want to extract? Year. So that's why
Year.
simply you can say year. If you want to extract month, you can simply say month. So this is a valid calculation. Or I can use date name function also. Date name function also similar to this of date part function only. But what is the difference here? Anyone?
మంత్లీ ఇంకా వీక్ ది డే ఇది ఇస్తుంది, నేమ్ ఇస్తుంది, లైక్ మంత్లీ జాన్ ఫెబ్ అలా.
Like, so date name function output is string here. Date part function output is integer. That's why when you are using date name function, the output is a string, right? String means always we have to use within single quote. So right side also we have to use single quotes. That is the only difference. Okay. So this is the calculation. This is valid for now. So this is the calculation one. I can simply apply here, drag into the filter shelf. Just simply click on true. Just click on OK. Now you see, I always get the 2024 year only. What is the question is, we have to show always latest year. So as of now, this calculation is working. But if I go to the 2025 year, if I go to the 2025 year, this calculation will not work actually. Why? Because in this calculation, you are writing this is a manual. So manual things will be always remain same. So anyone will tell how to do this. So in that case, what will happen is, in that case, we will erase the
డేట్ పార్ట్ అండ్ మాక్సిమం.
just give me a second. So in that case, the dashboard will not display any data here. So that is the one case when the dashboards will not display the data. If it in the 2024 year, it will display the data. Why? Because this calculation is working perfectly. But if you go to the 2025 year, then what will happen is, as we are entering this manually, this calculation will become false. That's why this sheet will not display any data. So we have to make this automatic. Anyone? I told you in the last class also, like Bharat has asked a question there, how to compare the current year and previous years. So at that time also I told you how, instead of writing manually this 2024, how to get this 2024 automatically. Okay, I'll tell you. We have to use the today function. In this today function, we have to use the year part, year function, or date part function also you can use. Now what will happen? Today will give you always today date. In the today date, we have 2024. Okay. To open the same dashboard in the 2025 year, this today function will give you 2025 date. So in that way, it will give you the 2025 year. So in that way, it will always shows the latest year data only. Like this is the so this is the thing we can achieve using calculation fields. But what is the other solution without using any calculation? without using any calculation, we have an option to achieve this thing. How to do that? Direct option is there. No need to go for calculation. Direct option is there. Okay. So like this, you have to write. Simply drag the order date into the filter cell. See, go to the mute. Everyone go to mute. So whenever there is a requirement, then I'll just. Okay. So go to the drag the order date into the filter cell. First, you have to go to. Okay. So drag the order date into the filter cell. Select the years here. Just go to the next here, and we have it is containing all the years here. But I want latest year, right? So we have one option which is called filter to latest date value when workbook is open. So we have to click on this option. So you see when you click on this option, you see Tableau automatically selected the latest date here. 2024 only it is selected. And even if you go to the 2025 year also, Tableau automatically selects the 2025 year. Why? Because here we are not selecting anything manually. We are selecting this option, which is automating. It will filter to the latest date when workbook is open. So we have to always use this option. And in that way, it will always shows the latest date that is available in the database. Okay. So this is the one scenario. If you use calculation fields, right, then it will sometimes if you write wrong calculations, it won't show the data in the sometime after some time. Maybe if you write some calculation something wrong, right, it won't show the data. So in the interviews, what you have to tell, this is one type of scenario. The supporting projects we are doing, this is one type of scenario. So you have to tell like this. So to display the latest year, the existing person has written some formula like year of order date equal to 2024. They have written, but when they open the workbook in the 2025 year, the calculation is becoming false. So in that case, the dashboard is not displaying the data. So user is come to me. So user is asking that to check what is the issue. So I opened that calculation and I modified that calculation to like this. Year of, instead of writing manually 2024, I have written year of today. So that is the one option you can say. Or instead of that calculation, what he has written, I replaced that calculation with this option. What is the option? Filter to the latest date when workbook is open. You see how many times you will listen, you will forget. So you have to simply practice only. So this is the basic question they are expecting you to answer. Why? Because no need to write any calculation. Simply drag the date into the filter shelf. You want to see latest year, right? That's why we have to select years option. Go to the next option. Select this option, filter to latest date. Automatically Tableau has selected this one. So this is the basic option. And we have condition option, we have tab options are there. But for this requirement, we have to use this filter to latest date option. Okay, I'll tell you same question. If they want to see the, okay, I don't want to tell you, I don't. So this is one type of issues we will face in the real time. Okay, so this type of projects we have to support. And anyone will tell what is the other type of issues we will face. Sorry, what are the requirements we will be getting in the supporting projects is we have one more types of supporting projects we will be facing in the real time. So that is called, for example, user is asking us to display additional filters. I can say simply add new filters. Okay, so in the supporting projects, we have to do this also. So in the existing project, in the existing dashboard, what is the thing is they have added 3 filters, but in the but the user is asking us to add one more filters or add 2 more filters. So we have to add new filters also to the existing dashboards. Okay, that is one type of supporting work we have to do. And what is other type of supporting we have to do is earlier in the workbook, okay, we have workbook, right? So in general, we call workbooks. In the workbooks, we will be having dashboards, dashboard 1, dashboard 2, dashboard 3, like that we have. So in the existing workbook, already there are 3 dashboards are there. And what is the enhancement we have to do? That is, user is asking us to create one more dashboard. User is asking us to create one more dashboard, that is dashboard 4 in the same workbook. So that is one type of supporting projects. So this is called enhancements. So enhancement means we have to add new filters, or we have to create one more dashboard, or in the existing dashboard only, we have to add new sheets. We have to add new sheets. So all these are enhancements. So I'll say enhancements. Enhancements means adding new filters, adding new sheets to existing dashboards, and creating new dashboards. Creating new dashboard in same workbook. In same workbook. Okay. So in all these cases, no need to connect to the database. No need to connect to the database actually. Okay. Hope you understand. So this is one type of enhancement we will be getting. So most of the things, these are the supporting work we have to do. Okay. So if you go to any project, you may get only supporting projects only you may get. So after working for supporting projects, 5 to 6 months, right? Then you will get a new project. I'm just telling an example. Or you have to work, you have to support the existing dashboards or existing workbooks, that is support projects. Along with, we have to create new dashboards also or new workbooks also. So anything will happen in the real time. You may get only scratch project, or you may get only support project, or you get support project as along with scratch projects. Okay, supporting means we have to do these enhancements only sometimes or like that. Okay, so in the interviews you can tell anything. Okay, the best thing is we are supporting the existing dashboards or workbooks along with these enhancements, and we are also doing the scratch project. So in the scratch projects only, we have to connect to the new database. Okay, just let me save this the desktop. So this is like I can say class 1, like class 1 frequently asked questions. Okay, in the scratch projects only, we have to connect to the new databases. So I will simply go to my tablet here. Okay, so and I'm just removing this. I'm just closing this database. Okay, now in the scratch project, we have to connect to the new database. Okay, in the interviews, they will ask you what is the database you are using. Anyone?
MySQL.
Yeah, you can tell MySQL. Okay, so that is correct. You can tell any database, either MySQL or Google BigQuery or Microsoft SQL Server, or you can say Google, you can say Salesforce, you can say SAP HANA, you can say Oracle database, or you can say Denodo. So you can say anything, but you have to fix to one database. In the past projects, you have used maybe other databases, but in the current project, you are using maybe MySQL database. So we have to fix to them. Okay. When you connect, okay, they will ask you one more question. While connect to the database, what are the details we have to provide? They will ask you. Anyone will tell? While connecting to the MySQL database, what are the details you have to provide? Anyone?
Username or
Username,
password.
schema.
Credentials, username, IP address, and password.
Correct. IP address means server name, username, and password. Just click on MySQL. You see, first we have to provide server name or IP address. Server name is also called host name. See, you have to go through this class and you have to write all these in a separate like that. Then only you can remember, and you have to revise these videos or revise your notes in a periodical manner. Like weekly once you have to review these previous classes. Okay. This is server is also called host name, or I can say IP address also. Correct. So maybe who will give you these details?
Client. Client will
Client
give
itself.
you.
Client will give you these details. Yeah. And port number we have to provide. Database name or schema name. Database also is called schema name. Username and password we have to provide. See, I will tell you from scratch to the end. Okay. So don't miss these classes and don't forget. So once I connect to the databases, MySQL database, it will show the schema names here. And under each schema, we have different tables. Okay. So I will be dragging one table here. So that is called orders table. In the real time also, most of the business is there, right? That is about orders and sales only. That is about orders and sales only we have in the real time. Okay. So why? Because just assume that you are starting a business. Don't bother about what is that business, but that business is about sales and orders only. One customer will come to you, any business, one customer will come to you, I want this product, and they will pay you some money, and you will give that product to that person. That is about orders. And what is the sales means? How much sales you are getting for that order. Like that, we have different customers are there. Okay, like that. So this is called orders data, or you can say sales data. So simply drag this table into this drag tables here area. So I'll tell you one by one. Okay, when you drag the table here, what will happen? When you drag the table here, I can see all the columns in this table. So in this table, what are the columns I have? Order ID, order date, ship date, ship mode, customer ID, customer name. So all these are the columns all these are the column names in this particular table. And where I can see the rows here, if you want to see the rows here, right? Simply click on the update now option or update automatically option. So for now, just click on update now option. Now I can see the rows in that columns. If I take this column name, so I can say this is column or this is field, F-I-E-L-D field. In this field, I have different rows. Okay, so I'll tell you simply about this business. So what is the business we have taken? For example, here Amazon. In the Amazon, I go to Amazon application. I will order one product. So when you are ordering product, what the Amazon will do? What the Amazon will do is Amazon will store your customer name. It will store the customer name. I'll tell you this one. So it will store the customer name. So many customers are there. Like this is one customer, this is one customer, like that. So many customers are there. And if I take this particular customer, it will store from which city he is ordering the product. From United States, he is ordering the products. From Texas, he is ordering the product. What is the customer ID for this particular customer? It will store that also. And it will store on which date he is ordering that product. And when you order any product, you will get order ID for that product. Right? Okay. And when that product is delivered to you, if I order that product in this particular date, that is on January 3rd, 2021, they will deliver that product to you in later date, right? If you order on 3rd January, they will deliver on the 7th January. That is about ship date. And we have ship mode is there, customer ID segment, we have consumer. So just forget about all those. And what is the important thing here is like from which region he ordered that product, and what is the product name, and what is the sales of that product, and how many quantity they have ordered. Sometimes I will order the same product two times, two quantity. Okay, I will buy mobile phone, two mobile phones I will buy. That is nothing but quantity, like that. And discount is there, a discount field is there. So it will tell you any discount they have given to you on that particular product. Like that, it is the row level data. What is the data you have connected? So what is the data you are getting from this MySQL database? That is always nothing but which data? Row level data. Remember, this is row level data or this is non-aggregated data. So I'll go to my class notes here. So here I can say, just go to Tableau introduction. So aggregated data in Tableau. Okay. So in this, you can see that what is the data we see in the Tableau, which is nothing but aggregated data. And see about database. If you go to about databases, or in the database, I can see row level data versus row level data. So whatever the data you are getting from the databases, right? All those are nothing but row level data. But row level data, that is also called disaggregated data or non-aggregated data. Okay. Okay. So assume that, okay, I'll tell you again same thing. So I have connected in the Scratch projects, we have to connect to the, most of the time in the Scratch projects, we have to connect to the database. So I'll just try to tell one by one, like it may take a bit of time, but I'll take some time and tell you. So first step is we have to connect to the data. Connect to data and tables. Tables. Okay. So I have a requirement like this. I have to create a dashboard. I have to create a workbook with 3 dashboards. Dashboard 1, dashboard 2, dashboard 3. I have to create 3 dashboards in a workbook. That is my requirement. In the workbook, I have to create a 3 dashboards. And they will tell you what is the database we have to use. We have to use the MySQL database. They will tell you username. They will tell you password. They will tell you table names also. They will tell you table names also. In that table, in each table, we have different columns, right? They will tell you in the each table, we have different columns. We have so many columns are there. And assume that if we want to create these 3 dashboards, I need only 10 columns here. I need only to create all these 3 dashboards. I want only 6 columns for now. Assume that I need only 6 columns. Region column, customer name column. Okay, I need order date. Okay, and for now, I need order date. I need sales. I need profit, and I'm just telling my requirement. So assume that when I tell you some requirement, assume that user is telling this requirement. So this is the requirement you have to. So they will tell you what is the when you go to project, right? They will tell you what is their requirement. You have to create a workbook with these 3 dashboards. In all these 3 dashboards, they will tell you to which database you want to connect and what are the tables you want to connect. And in these all these tables, what are the columns you want? Okay. So they'll tell you column names also, region, and I can say category. Okay, category, subcategory. Okay. So if you take this table, right? In this table, we have so many columns are there, but I want only these columns only. I want to create all these dashboards. I need only these columns only. Then anyone will tell how to do that, because I dragged the entire table here. When you drag the entire table, I can see all the columns here, but I don't want all these postal name, product ID. I don't want all these. I want only those columns only. Anyone?
We use custom SQLs.
Okay. Vasishta or Google?
Custom SQL is possible.
New custom SQL.
Custom SQL.
Yes, sir.
Correct. So when you connect to any database, I can see 2 options here. New custom SQL option, new union option. If you want to write custom SQL, right, then I can simply, instead of dragging this entire table, I can simply drag this custom SQL option.
Required document.
Okay.
Required fields.
Or what is the other method to write the custom SQL? Very simple. Just click on the first, drag the table here, go to this drop down, just simply use the convert to custom SQL option. When you click on this option, right, what will happen? This is also a custom SQL only. You see, the heading of this window is convert to custom SQL. In this window, what I can see here is, I can see in the from statement, I can see column table names, and in the select statement, I can see all the columns in this table. But I don't want all these columns, right? I want only region column, I want segment, I want category column, and like that few columns only I want here, like customer name. So what I will do, you can select, you can remove the remaining columns, whatever you don't want, right? So you can remove like that, right? Like that. Or what I will do, I'll see, this is the other method. So you can close, you can simply click on OK. But just telling you, when you click on OK, it will give you those column names here, whatever you have selected. But what is the other approach here is just simply remove this option, drag the new custom SQL option here. In this, we have to write manually what are the columns you want. What is the table name? In the from statement, we have to always mention table name. Orders.2024. Okay. Star means what it will do. Anyone? Select star means.
All the rows and columns from the table.
Yeah, it will give you all the columns.
All the fields.
All the columns and all the rows. So I want only specific columns, right? So remove the star here. Simply write the region, customer name, sales, okay, category, and subcategory. Like that, you can write all the columns, whatever you want. Okay. Profit I want. Okay, just click on OK. So for each and every column will be separated by comma here. Okay, and for the last column, no need to mention any comma here. So remember, SQL means it is a very simple SQL. In the from statement, we have to mention table name, and in the select statement, we have to mention what are the columns you want from this particular table here. Okay, just click on. So if you mention some column here, and that column is not existed in this table, right? Then it will throw you some error here. Okay. And once you write this custom SQL, if you want to review the results, right, you can simply click on the preview results option and simply click on, you can check the result actually. Just click on the preview results. So the window is like, it is executing the query and it will get you the data like this. Okay. So what are the custom SQL you have written? If you want to see the data initially, you can do like this. But in general, once you do this, simply click on OK here. Now you see, I have written custom SQL here, and in this, from this table, what are the columns you are pulling? These columns. Now, what is the interview question in the real time we are asking? They are asking is, when you are going for this custom SQL option, they will ask you. Okay. So in that case, what you have to tell is, so we have a requirement to create a dashboard. In the dashboard, we have to use one particular table here. In that table also, I don't need all the columns to create the dashboards. I want only few columns only. Like I want in the table, it is having around 50 columns. In the table, we have around 50 columns. But to create all these three dashboards, we need only 10 columns or 15 columns only we need. So using the custom SQL, I have selected only those columns manually, like this using custom SQL, you can say. They will ask you, what is the advantage of writing this custom SQL? Very simple. If you bring all the 50 columns, what will happen? That data size will be very huge. For example, it will be 1 GB around. But if you bring only those columns which are required for building all the dashboards, like 15 columns, for example, the data size will be very less comparing to these 50 columns. Now for these 15 columns, the data size may be assume that you can say 200 MB. Okay. So the data size is reduced here. In that way, what will happen, anyone? The data size is reduced, what will happen?
Table performance is increased.
Correct.
Processing,
Tableau
processing
performance.
speed increase.
Sorry?
Processing speed is
Processing speed will be increased. In other word, what they will expect is the performance of the dashboard will be increased or improved. And anyone will tell what is the meaning of performance?
Mm,
performance
While
that is,
opening the dashboards, it will take some time. If we have less amount of data, it takes less time to open the dashboards in the server.
Correct. Correct. So if some user is opening this dashboard, right, it may take for them to load 30 seconds. The dashboards are opening in 30 seconds means this performance is worst actually. If the dashboard is taking 30 seconds in the real time means the performance is worst or the performance is bad, I can say. So I want to improve the performance of this dashboard. So what is one of the option means? One of the option is we have to write the customer scale and we have to select the required columns only we have to select here. Okay, so like that. So after doing all this, the performance is now coming to 10 to 15 seconds, I can say. So if the dashboard is opening in a 10 to 15 seconds means, right? So this is good actually. So if the dashboard is opening more than 15 seconds means the performance is bad actually. So we have some types of some types of products we will get in real time. So you have to improve the performance of this dashboard. So to improve the performance of the dashboard, what you will do, we have to write the custom SQL. This is the one of the option. This is not only the option, this is one of the option. Okay. Now once you write this custom SQL, now I will go to just click on the sheet here. Now go to the Tableau sheet. In this Tableau sheet, first what you have to do. Okay, I'll tell you one. I will ask you one question. My customer is asking that how many total rows are there in this particular sheet? Maybe my customer is asking or not, but I am asking a question. I want to see how many rows are there in this particular table here. How many rows are there in this table? Anyone will tell how to do that? How to like how to view that number of records? Okay.
Simply drag the count into the text field.
Correct. You have to bring the count field. When you connect to any database, just remember this question, also important question. When you connect to any database, Tableau will additionally generate three columns: measure names, measure values, and count field. Measure names, measure values, and count field. So I'll tell you what is the use of measure names and measure values a bit later. But as of now, I'll tell you count field. So if you want to find out how many rows are there in this table, I can say simply columns. I have category column, customer name column, region column, subcategory column, profit, sales. But how many rows are there? You want to find out that, simply drag the count field into the text here. It will simply show you 10,000 rows are there. Okay, 10,000 rows are there. So this is the sheet one. Just remember how many rows are there in the sheet one. And I go to sheet two. To the sheet two, what is my requirement here is I want to show the region by sales. Simply drag the region into the row shell and drag the sales into the text here and simply double click on the profit. So remember, while creating text table, so if you want to create a dashboard, right, what we will do, we will create so many we will create uh, text tables as well as bar charts, line charts, so many, right? So how to create text table here? Very simple one. For example, when you drag region here first, then drag any measure into the text here. First measure you have to drag into the text. From the second measure onwards, simply double click. Okay, like this. So I will tell you after that also, no problem. So the requirement is first we are getting dashboard one here. So I have to create sheet one, sheet two. I have to create sheet three. assume that in the sheet 3, I'm just displaying the region wise, category wise sales. Region wise, category wise sales I am displaying here. Okay, I'm just telling you that sheet 1, in the sheet 1, we have to show some KPIs. In the sheet 1, how many rows we have? 10,000 rows are there. In this tab, in this data, in this table, how many rows are there? 10,000 rows are there. Okay, so I just want to connect to the first step is we have to connect to the database and we have to connect to the tables. Second step is write custom SQL. So here I can say, so I can write here instead dragging entire table, write custom SQL. So why we are writing custom SQL means there are two things. To select only required columns. See, this is very important for you to crack the interview. Okay, so this is very important for you. So it may take some time, but I'll go by end-to-end process. Okay? So we have already 1157 is there, right? To select only required columns, we have to write the custom SQL. What is the advantage of writing this custom SQL? To decrease. So what this custom SQL will do in general? Decrease the data size and improve the performance. And decrease the data size and that so improves the performance. Okay, so I told you how to run the custom SQL, and there is one more method to improve the performance while writing the custom SQL. Okay, write custom SQL and use group by function. Use group by function to aggregate data in SQL itself. So most of the time, right? In some cases, right? You can write the custom SQL. Along with this custom SQL, we have to aggregate the data also. We have to aggregate the data also to improve the performance. So this will also improve the performance, right? Group by function will improve the performance also. Okay. So anyone will tell what is the meaning of grouping the data. Group by function will do grouping the data. Anyone will tell what is the use of group by function and what is the meaning of aggregating data. Aggregating data, you know already. So aggregating data is nothing but group by function. You can achieve aggregations in SQL using group by function. Very simple. They will ask you in different methods. Why do you use group by function? You can say simply, if you want to aggregate the data, then use the group by function. And if you want to aggregate the data in the SQL, I'm telling you in the SQL, if you want to aggregate the data, use the group by function. Okay, so anyone will tell what is the meaning of aggregation and what is the meaning of group by? I'll tell you in a simple manner. Anyone want to try this one?
క్వశ్చన్ మళ్ళీ రిపీట్ చేస్తారా వెంకట గారు?
So what is the need of using group by function? And okay, I'll tell you actually. No need of. See, in Tableau, we are doing the group by right here. What is the meaning of group by? What is the meaning of aggregation? I told you in the earlier class. Anyone will tell what is the meaning of aggregation?
అడిషన్ ఆర్ఎల్స్ అంటే అథమెటిక్ పర్ఫామ్ చేయడానికి చేసేది అగ్రిగేట్ చేస్తాం, అంటే అడిషన్ కానీ సమ్మింగ్ కానీ.
Correct. Addition, summation, like subtraction, minimum, maximum, all these are nothing but aggregations. And there is one more. So aggregation can be. I can tell you in other way also. So you told summation, right? Correct answer. That is the correct answer. I'll tell you this thing. In Telugu subject, in one of the subjects, subject one, you got okay. Otherwise, I tell you, you brought a mobile phone. You bought a mobile phone around 10,000 rupees, and you bought headphones around 1,000 rupees, and you bought one more product that is laptop that is around 50,000. Okay, so this is the row level data. But if I ask you, I don't want your which products you bought here. I don't bother about how many products you bought here. I am bothering about what is how much money you have spent, total money you have spent, or what is the total sales you have made. That is 10,000 plus 1,000 plus 50,000. That is nothing but 61,000. So this is nothing but aggregation. How we are doing this aggregation? By simply doing the summation of all these sales. So aggregation means one of the thing is simplest is doing the summation is nothing but aggregation, or aggregation means combining multiple rows into a single row. That is 10,000, 1,000, 50,000. When you do the aggregation, it is bringing we are bringing that all the three rows into a single row, that is 61,000. So combining multiple rows into single row is nothing but aggregation, and this aggregation can be performed using summation function. Like summation, we have so many functions: minimum function, maximum function. Like that, we have so many functions are there. Okay. Okay. Now, if you see in the central region, what is the total sales here? 5 lakhs. So this is the aggregated sales. But how we are getting this 5 lakh sales? So many customers are there in the central region. Customer 1, customer 2, customer 3. If I combine all the customer sales, it is bringing up to 5,03,000 sales. That is nothing but aggregation. Okay. So instead of doing aggregation within the tableau, in SQL also I can do the aggregation. Okay. I'll tell you one of the simplest method. As of now, in the SQL, what I'm doing here is let's simply click on this data source button. You will come to this page. In this page, so I'm writing a simple SQL here. I'm using only select statement and from statement only I'm using. I am not using any group by function here. Okay. So before group by function, how many rows are there? 10,000 rows in this table. 10,000 rows are there. But you see, I'll use the group by function within the SQL, and I'll reduce the number of rows here. So simply go to the group by function here. Group by, use all the columns in the group by function. Use all these columns in the group by function. Remember, anyone will tell in general we have, if you connect to any database, we have number of columns. Those number of columns will be divided into two types: dimensions and measures. Dimensions and measures. Now, anyone will tell what we can use. What we can use dimensions or we can use measures in the group by column. Anyone will tell?
Dimensions usually.
Usually, we have to use the dimensions.
Dimension.
Gokul, you are able to follow. Bharat, able to follow. I think. If you have any question, just let me know.
Yes.
So, if you connect to any table, we have all these fields are there, our columns are there. Any column can be divided into two types, either dimension or either measure. Measures means anyone will tell what is the measure?
Measures ante values.
Measures
Like
means it contains
numbers.
numbers, and most importantly, measures can be aggregatable, summable. Measures can be summable here. Why? Because measure means, for example, in this particular case, sales. Measure means sales and profit. Sales means customer 1 has made 10 rupees sales. Customer 2 made 20 sales. Customer 3 made 30 sales. Like that. Okay. So all these sales can be summable, right? So measures can be summable here. So in the group by column, we have to use only dimensions, not measures. Remove the measures here from the group by column. I can use only dimensions only in the group by column in general. Okay. And in the select statement, I can use aggregations for measures, summation, sum of sales, and I can say sum of profit. So what are the measures we have? Those measures we can do summation in the select statement itself. Okay. So here I am doing the aggregation for two columns, sales and profit. But we have to do the aggregation for remaining columns also, right? All the remaining columns are dimensions. So what are the remaining columns we have? Sales and profit already aggregated using summation function, and remaining columns we have to do aggregation using group by function. I told you aggregation for dimension means, in general, aggregation means bringing multiple rows into single row. That is nothing but aggregation in general. So dimensions can be aggregated, measures also can be aggregated, but measures can be aggregated using sum function, min function, max function, like that. And dimensions can be aggregated using group by function. So dimension means, I'll tell you simple example why dimensions cannot be summable here. Dimensions cannot be summable. Why? Because if I take a particular dimension, customer name means I can say Venkat, right? So this Venkat is repeating in multiple rows. I want to aggregate this row, these multiple rows into a single row, like Venkat only. One row only I want to aggregate. Why? Because I can't do the summation of all these customers. So dimensions cannot be summable here. That's why I will use a group by function here. And in that way, I can convert multiple dimension values into single value, or multiple dimension rows into single row using group by function. And but measures can be summable, right? So measures can be summation within the select statement itself. So what is the advantage of doing this group by function here? Okay, I'll tell you. Just simply click on OK. So they will ask in the interviews also, they will ask you, what is the advantage of doing the group by function within the SQL? They will ask you. Okay, you see what is happening here after writing the custom SQL. Profit is not there now, sales is not there. Why? Because those are becoming sum of profit and sum of sales. So to keep this as it is, what I will do here is like, I'll just open the custom SQL here, and I want to rename this sum of sales to sales only again. So as sales, I can say. So this is called aliasing, or this is called renaming the columns. And I want to make profit as profit only again. So this is called aliasing. Sometimes you can remove the as here, you can keep profit only. Okay. So it will be based on the database. If the database supporting removing the as function, you can remove as function here. Like this. Okay, now I can see profit and sales here. Okay. Now I will tell you what is the advantage of using this group by function. In general, anyone will say, what is the advantage of using group by function here? We just have discussed it now itself. Let's try to remember what is the meaning of aggregation, and tell me what is the advantage of it. Anyone?
It is used to aggregate the dimension columns into a single column, like aggregation for measures.
Yeah, that is the meaning of aggregation. But what is the advantage of it? What is the advantage of aggregation, and what is the need of using group by function here?
It redundancy, data redundancy.
Similarly, we can do that sales now, so that we are using group by.
Single sales we will get.
So the similar function like this, minimum, maximum for measure. So we do the for, we can't do it like in dimension. So that we apply for group by.
Okay, it reduces the number of unique items into a single one, and it decreases the size of the data without affecting the data on a higher level.
Correct. What you told is correct. So what is the meaning? Why we are using group by function? Actually, combining multiple rows into single row, right? So assume that 4 rows are becoming a single row here. That means we are reducing the number of rows here. when you reduce the number of rows, what will happen? Data size will be decreased. Before using group by, assume that the data size is 200 MB. But if you use group by function, what is happening here? Number of rows are reduced actually. Maybe from before group by, assume that we have how many rows are there actually in that table? 10,000 rows are there, right? Assume that after using group by function, these 10,000 rows are becoming maybe like 2,000 rows. So what happened here? Number of rows are reduced here. In that way, 200 MB is becoming, maybe assume that 50 MB. So when you reduce the number of rows, the data size will be decreased here. In that way, we can increase the performance of the dashboard. Okay. Now, if I go to sheet 1 here, you see before it is 10,000 here. Now it is now the number of rows are reduced to 8,000 here. So because this is the one of the use of group by function. But number of rows only reduced here, but the data will not change here. If you go to sheet 2 here, okay, if you go to sheet 2, you see the data will not change here. Before aggregation and after aggregation also, I can see sales is 5 lakhs only for the central region. Profit is 39,000 only. Even though you do group by or not group by, what will happen means, I'll tell you simply, for the central region, I have sales is 10, 20, 30 like that, right? We have in different rows. But after group buying also, central is becoming single row only, but the sales are becoming also a single row. So the sales will not change here. Only the number of rows will be reduced here, but the data remains same. The sales and profit will remain same here. Okay. Okay, so this is one of the interview question, important question they will ask you in the interviews. If they are interviewing about 1 hour, right? So they will expect all these questions. But and if even though if they don't ask you particularly why do we use group by function and all those, they will ask you a simple question: how to increase the performance of the dashboard. They will ask you this simple question. And when they ask you this question, there are so many steps are there. There are so many in so many ways we can achieve this performance. One of the method is you have to write the customer SQL, and you have to tell like this. To improve the performance, one of the approach we are following is we are writing the customer SQL. In the customer SQL also, we are selecting only required columns, and we are selecting and we are using the group by functions here. And by using the group by function also, we can reduce the number of rows. Using selected columns, we can reduce the number of columns, and using group by function, we can reduce the number of rows. In that way, this is one of the method we follow most frequently to improve the performance you have to say in the interviews. Okay. So I have created sheets. I have created sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3 here. And now, okay. Next, what is the next thing you have to do in the real time? In general, I have connected to the database and I have written the some, instead of writing entire table, I'm using the group by function. I'm writing some custom SQL. And what is the next thing you will do? Anyone will tell? Just think about generally in Tableau what will be the next step. Anyone will tell?
No, to know what the client or customer wants and create the charts accordingly.
No, customer will tell you what are the charts they have to create, and they will tell you everything. But what is the next thing we will do with respect to data? I'll tell you. I'll give you hint also here. What is the next thing we will do with respect to data connections? Data.
Merge with some other data.
Sorry.
Merge with another data.
Okay, that is we follow that one. But assume that this is the only one. This is the only one table which we are required to build all three dashboards. I don't want any data to merge with for now.
Okay.
This is the final data I required to build all the three dashboards. Then what is the next step you will do? Next step you will do is, you see, if you go to the data source button here, see, whenever you connect to the data, by default that is a live connections. So we have to convert that into extract connection. Okay. So you can simply click on the extract button here, or I can go to the sheet 3, any one of the sheet. Anyone will tell how to extract the data.
Click the custom SQL, right click.
No, we have written already custom SQL and we have created the data source here. Next, I want to extract the data here. Before building any one of the sheet, actually, we don't create the sheets initially itself.
That using those cylinders, what name antam?
Yeah. So live connection means single cylinder. We have to extract the data. 99% of the projects, okay, 99% of the projects are using extract connections only. Only 1% of the projects are using live connections. Why? Because what is the meaning of live connection? Will tell anyone?
Continuous refresh.
Yeah. So whenever the user open the dashboard, this dashboard will directly go to the database and it will get the fresh data. What is the data that is available in the database? It will directly fetch the data into the dashboard or into the data source. So it will take some time. Okay. So it has to go to the database and it has to, for example, in each and every sheet, we will be using some aggregations, right? For example, assume that. See, we will create so many sheets, right? In real time, you will create sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So like that, you will create so many sheets. So if you use live connection, what will happen means when the user open this dashboard, the data has to connect to the database, directly go to the database, MySQL database, and it will fetch the data from the database and it has to create the dash. It has to display the data in the each and every sheet here. Okay, so the live connection will take more time to fetch the data from the database and it has to display the data in the sheets. So it will take more time to aggregate the data and it will take so much of time to display the data in the sheets. Why? Because to display the data in the each and every sheet in the dashboard, it has to go to the data, it has to fetch the data from the database, and it has to do all these calculations. For example, if you are using any calculation in the dashboard, right, it has to do all those calculations. So it will take more time to display the data in the dashboards using live connections. So that's why we have to create the extracts always. So if they ask you what is the connection you are using, you have to directly say we are using the extract connections. So we have to extract the data. So I'll tell you remaining. So anyone will tell what is the meaning. Okay, first I'll tell you a few things here, how to extract the data. Simply right click on the data source, simply click on the extract the data option. So while extracting the data, we can use extract filters also. Okay, if you want to filter the data, then I can use some filters also here. So okay, I will tell you one by one this, but if you want to extract the data for now, just simply click on the save settings option. In the newer dashboard, in the newer versions, you can see this save settings option. But before 2023 version, I can see extract option. Extract button is there. You have to simply click on the extract button to extract the data. What will happen? Anyone will tell while extracting the data. What is the meaning of extracting data?
Store the data in the local database.
Correct. So when you extract the data, it will store the data in your local system or within this workbook. So this is workbook, right? So it will store the data within this workbook only. Because of that reason, whenever the user open the dashboard, right, no need to go to the database. Why? Because already data is extracted and stored within the workbook only. That's why our dashboard will display the data in a faster manner. So that's why we'll improve the performance of the dashboard. So just simply click on the save settings option. Just click on the save button. It will ask you to store somewhere. So in which file format the data will be stored, extract will be stored, .hyper format. So if you go to our website, So we have seen here live, extract, and published data sources are there. So I have given some examples here, but you can go through this notes, class notes, if you want. What is the difference between all these data sources? Okay. So extracts will be stored in the format of .hyper format. Just click on save settings. Just click on S. If you want to replace it, just click on. So it will display something here, which is saying today and now. Now functions will be there. So what is the meaning of today and now function means? See, I am creating this extract in my local system, that is in India. But there is a difference between today and now functions in the US. For now, it is maybe 12 p.m. But for in the US, it may be some different times. So when you use extract connection, right? So these two will be different actually. That's why this warning. It is not an error, it is a warning. When you extract the data, today and now functions will give you some different dates and times in different locations. This is the meaning of this one. You can say simply, okay, you can't do anything with that. So when you extract the data, now you see we have extract is created here with double cylinder. How to identify extracts with a double cylinder? Now I can create the dashboards and everything, and those will load in a faster manner. In that way, it will improve the performance. So what is the next step here we have to do here is like we have live connections, we have extract connections. So most of the cases we'll go for extract the data. Why we have to go for the extract the data? Improve the performance. And where this extract will be stored? Anyone? Extract will be stored within the workbook. Within workbook. Or local system. They can say local system. But in general, you can say extract will be stored within the work. Why I can say within the workbook? Why I can say it will be stored within the workbook means if you share this workbook to any person, right? If you share this workbook to any person, if you share this work to the other person, right? Along with this workbook, this extract will also be sent. Along with this workbook, this data source will be also sent actually. So that is the meaning of extract stored within the workbook. So this is also called embedding data source. Embed extract within workbook. So in the interviews, they will ask you, what is the meaning of embedding data source? What is the meaning of embedding extract or embedding data source? So you can simply say what is the meaning of embedding data source means we have to create the extract here. When you create the extract, this extract will be stored within the workbook. That is nothing but we are embedding the data source within the workbook. Okay, that is the meaning of extract or storing the extract within the work. Okay, anyone will tell after that what is the next step we can do? See, we have seen live connection and extract connections, right? Now, what is the meaning of published data sources? Published data source. There is, I'll tell you. Okay, I'll give you time. What is the meaning of published data source? Okay, assume that for now, we'll stop the class here for now. I'm just saving this class now here. So after creating so many sheets like this, right? Now what I will do, I'll click a dashboard here to create the dashboard. Simply click on this dashboard button. A dashboard will be opened here. In the dashboard, I can see different options: dashboard, layout, default, phone, device preview, dashboard size. I can see sheets. What are the sheets I have created? I can see all the sheets here. Okay. Now I can see dashboard objects are there. I can see tiled option, floating option. I can see all the options here. Now to create the dashboard, what is the first step I told you? Anyone will tell what is the first step we have to remember here while creating the dashboard? Okay, I think we have so much of time is we have so much time spent till now. So I'll tell you. So I'll tell you simply in a formal way. I'll tell you in a like I'll tell you informal method. So we have to create a dashboard, right? Simply drag all the sheets into the dashboard. We'll continue this tomorrow, but in general, I will tell you what we do. First, drag all the sheets into the dashboard here. In this way, I can create the dashboard here. Now, I want to, if you want to share this dashboard, right? We are we are doing all this work in our local system using Tableau desktop. But I want to share this to the users. So we have to publish this dashboard to the Tableau server. So within this menu option, I can see server option is there. Go to sign in option. Sorry. Sorry. So I'll go to my server option. I'll simply first have to sign into the different server, like it's a Tableau cloud here. Just click on the connect option. So while publishing the Tableau server, right? So we have to provide what is the server URL, and we have to provide what is the username and what is the password. So I'll tell you all these details in a later class. But while coming to the next class on Monday, right? So we have to provide username and password here. Now you see, once you sign to the server, right? You can see you are signed into the server. Now into this server, I have to publish my dashboard or workbook. So simply click on the publish workbook option. Publish workbook. So while publishing, you have to select folder name, you have to give workbook name, you have to select sheets, you have to select all these here. We'll tell you, I will give you one video to you, so you can go through that one where I have explained all these things. Okay. So tomorrow, probably I don't explain you all these things. Okay. So go to one of the, I'll tell you, so where you can go here is like, so I'll give this link to you. So So this is our class notes videos link, previous batch links. You can go to this link, just go to advanced option, go to proceed to this unsafe. So whenever you find this error, right, what you can do is go to the HTTPS, remove this HTTPS here, type www dot and this link, just click on enter. Now we can see this videos link. In these videos, I told you how to design a dashboard here. So go through dashboard 1, design, class 2, class 3, class 4. In the class 1 and class 2, this class 2 and class 3, I told you how to format the sheets and dashboard. In the class 4, I told you how to publish the dashboard to the Tableau server. And while publishing, what are the options we can see here, right? I explained all these options there. So I don't want to explain all these things again. So I'll tell you flow only. Okay. So for these things, to go through class 2, class 3, class 4. Class 4 particularly explained you those topics. Just click on this button. Just click on this one. You can see video here and what are topics we have discussed. Maybe for this particular then I don't see, but I can see video here. Go through this video. And when you click on this class 3, right, you can see class 3 video. When you click on class 2, you can see class 2 video. So go through all these three. I don't tell you how to design the dashboard. Why? Because they don't ask you in the interviews most of the time how to design a dashboard. But if you go to the real-time projects, then these three videos are very helpful for you. Okay. And particularly for the interview purpose, class 4 is very helpful for you. Class 4 is very helpful for you, the interviews also. So go to the class 4 first. Later you can go to class 2 and class 3. If you have time, go through all the videos. So now, mainly, I am publishing this dashboard into a particular location, like development server. You can say development project here. And I can say the dashboard name is, so just remember dashboard name also. I can say batch 1, frequently asked questions. This is the workbook name, and I can say workbook here. Okay, V1 FAQ workbook. And in this, I don't want to publish all the sheets. I want to publish only this dashboard only. Just click on publish. Just click on open, not a problem. Yes. See, this workbook is publishing to the Tableau server now. Once it is published, right, automatically this link will be opened in the Tableau server. Now you see, this dashboard is opened in the Tableau server here. So if you want to share this workbook to any user, right, simply go to this URL, simply copy this URL, and you can paste this URL to the users. You can share this URL to the users. So whenever user clicks on this URL, right, directly this dashboard will be opened for those people. So in this dashboard, we have created this dashboard one. In this workbook, this is the dashboard one. Just click on this dashboard again. So I explained you about how to open this dashboard and all those in a class 4 video. Just go to this class 4 video. Okay, this class 4 video, go to this class 4 video. Okay. So remaining things we will discuss tomorrow. So my intention is not to tell you everything for you. Okay, but as a process, I want to tell you what is important things and what are the important things they will ask you in the interview. To crack the interview, what are the important things only I will tell you. So whatever we have discussed in a detailed manner, those are important for an interview purpose. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow and we'll see how it goes. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye. We'll meet tomorrow. For Monday, we'll meet. I'll share you this regarding that.